Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Kim here, and today is Antonio Makes Monday. But today is a little bit of a twist because I'm calling it Antonio's Make Monday Mini, because we're just going to do a little tutorial on one of his freebies that he gave. So whenever I have a chance to work on a freebie in between working on some of his kits, I'm going to call it Mini, and we'll just do a little tiny project, and it'll just be a fast thing. So if you're on Antonio's email list, you would have got a notification on Friday of his latest freebie, which is this. It's a complimentary page to the Autumn Shabby kit, and it's just an additional page that he's adding to the kit. And if you're not on his email list, why not? You get freebies every Friday. It's just automatic. So if you look at the bottom or on my description on this video, you'll find a link to go to his website. You'll also find a link to go to his Facebook page. Now, if you go to his website, you can sign up for his newsletter, and you will receive information on new videos and on freebies. And he sends it right to your email box. You don't even have to go searching for it. That's the fun part. It's just a gift every Friday. And then if you don't belong or if you just joined, you can also go to his Facebook group and go and look up the past freebies that he's given away. So it's a win-win. You get a freebie every Friday from Antonio. So this is the one for Friday, this past Friday. And if you watched my last video where I did, or 2 videos ago where I did the Autumn Shabby kit, I had printed on music sheets. So as soon as I got this one, I had to print this one as well onto music sheets. But I've done this already. I just want to show you that, yeah, I just continued with more music sheets. And on the back side of the music sheet, I've used the same image, except I printed it in draft so that it's a lighter version. And I'm going to put these aside, and I'll show it to you on here as well. So I've printed the regular colored version. I just love this. This is such a pretty page. And then on the back side of the paper, and this is cardstock, by the way, that I'm printing on today, I printed a lighter version. This is called a draft version. If you look on your printer and you go to your printer dialog box, when you have to put in all the information of size of paper, whether you want to print in color, how many copies, there is a section for, you know, the quality of print. So you can choose a draft print. You may have to look around in your printer because everybody's printers are different, but there is a printer that prints a lower version, or, you know, like an ink saver version, that depending on the brand of printer, they might call it different things. But it's just a nice way to use, you know, it's complementary to what's on the front, but it's a lighter version. So that'll just give you an idea there of how it looks different. But this is great if you're working on white paper and you just want to color it up a little bit before you actually work with it. So it's a nice way to cover up the white part of the paper. Now I printed these on cardstock, and I just used a standard print. I didn't do a high res print or anything because I want it to be quite subtle. And so I'm just going to quickly trim the edges of this. And I'll show you this very fast project. So this is printed on, I think it's 60-pound cardstock. I don't know the GSM value, but it's regular cardstock that you buy, you know, at your local craft store. It's not super heavyweight, but 60 pound, I think, or 65 maybe. I'm not sure. And yes, I could go and quickly trim this on the printer, but, you know, then what would you do? It would be even shorter, this video. So what I'm making today is a swatch booklet. And it's just going to be a one-page wonder using this cardstock. And I'm just taking my round corner tool and rounding the corners. And then I'm going to quickly ink this page up. Nothing fancy. I'm just going to give it a little bit of an ink rub down. I was going to have one already done, but I'm a little bit behind in the things I've been doing lately. So I'm doing it on this side, and I'm going to also do it on the other side. So I had run into a few little technical issues last week. One was that I didn't get my Techniques Tuesday done, but don't worry, we've got one for this week too. Okay, so I'm going to put this one aside as well. I don't need all three of them. Now I've made 3 of these, or I'm going to be making 3 of these to go into books, but I'm making a 4th one to keep for myself. And so all I did is I just very loosely folded it into thirds. You know, I don't measure, I just do approximate. And I want the top one, that's what's going to open, where it's going to open. So I don't want it to go right to the end anyway. So just slightly overlapped into thirds, as if you were, you know, mailing a letter and you're trying to fit it in the envelope. And just as long as it's, you know, straight, of course. You can score them if you prefer to use a scoreboard. And so this will be like a little booklet. And I'm going to have one for each of my journals. I started doing this recently in my journals, and I really like the idea. And I also make one each time for myself. And what this little swatch booklet is going to be used for is to host all of the different fabrics that I use in the book, as well as any fancy papers that I use in the book. You know, I've got technically 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can add as much as I want. And if I don't fill in the space, I can use the front of this and embellish it a little bit. I can use the back of this to write notes on. But I just thought it would be a fun thing to slip in the journals, you know, on the inside cover, and just have as a little swatch, just so you can see the different colors in here. And the fun part about it is, in my journals, I like to make one page, well, not just one. Sometimes I make them all random, where you turn the page and you know, you think you're in a pink, ivory, cream colored book, and then all of a sudden you open the next page and it's purple. And I do that on purpose because I think it's fun to have that element of surprise. And you know, it just it encourages me to work in other colors that I may not always work with, and it's just fun for people to turn the page and go, oh, whoa, what's that? And it's not like I put a page in by mistake, because you know, the front cover might be, or the front page might be purple or pink, and then on the inside you'll turn it, it'll be purple. And I do that just for fun. So when you get a swatch book like this included in my journal, you will open up the swatch book before you even go through your journal, and you'll see that there's all these beautiful pinks and creams, and then there might be 3 or 4 swatches of purple, or you know, a blue piece of paper, a swatch of a piece of paper in there. And that's just to show people what's in the book, sort of like a little sneak peek, a little preview. So just to give you an idea, now I'm going to go quickly and grab the other, the 3 journals. Sorry, I kind of forgot to bring it to the table. Now, you saw me working on them when I first did Antonio's first video with him, and I haven't gotten any further, only because I've been busy with other things. And the covers are coming. There will be a couple of videos on the covers. So I just want to make sure I'm going the right way. I haven't even moved any of the pockets or anything that I had started to put in here. I think it goes this way, right? Yes. And so I'm going to have 3 journals. So each journal will have one of these swatch cards, and it'll be a single signature journal. So each cover will be different. So there will be a swatch for each cover in here. And sometimes, you know, I might use one kind of lace on this one, a different kind of lace on this one, and so on and so forth. I may use different papers in this one, and this one. So each of my swatch booklets are going to have to be slightly different. But there are some colors that I know are in all 3 books. that I have planned. So I'm going to just show you how I'm getting started with these. So I will not finish this on camera today, only because this is as far as I've got with the journals. The covers aren't even made yet, so I don't even have swatches of the fabrics. But this will just show you what I've done so far and what I've used so far for at least one book, but all three of them have this same stuff in here. So down the center, I'm putting some of the main colors that are inside the book. And, you know, I will change it as I go along too. You know, it will be slightly different for each book. And so I'm just going to put in these three for now. I've got lots of space here to add more, so it really doesn't matter. I can just leave them at this stage if I want to. And so I just added the three colors, which is this sparkly tulle, the satin pink, and then the pink lining, because I used all three of these in for sure at least one book. We'll have all three of these. But I'm pretty sure all of them will. And then I've got my stapler buried in here. And you know I always like to staple upside down so that the staples are on the inside. And I'm just going to staple it in three places. Oop, that didn't go through very good. Take that one out. And do that again. Okay, and then I take my needle nose pliers and just press the prongs down so that they're sitting flat. And I see that this shifted just ever so slightly, so I'm just going to kind of close it to hold the fabrics in. And you can see I've got a little bit sticking out here. I don't like that, so I'm just going to trim it down with my scissors. So that it's not sticking out of the book. And then I know that I'm using this lace in my books, so I've got a piece here that I'm going to glue on the top just to finish off the top of it. It's like making a fabric flip. So I'm just going to trim that down. And I know that the other books are going to have this as well. So taking my hot glue gun, I'm just going to run the glue across the top here. Now I could glue these in, I didn't have to staple them, but I just choose to. And then adding that to the top to make my finish on my fabric swatches here. So again, I can add more fabrics in here on another strip or on the outside. It really doesn't matter, but I'm going to start adding some of the swatches, the little swatches that I want to keep. Now, if I find I'm running out of room, I can cut these shorter so they don't have to be that long. It all depends on what's going in the book, but in my case, I pretty much know that I will have plenty of room to leave these in here in full length. And then also it gives a little bit of fabric in case the recipient of the journal wants to snip out a piece to maybe embellish an envelope that they're putting in the journal or something, that they can actually take it out. But I know that I'm using some of this lace, so I'm going to just cut myself a little square. Oop, got glue on my fingers so everything's sticking to it. And then I know that this is going throughout all of the journals as well. So I'm just going to cut a little swatch of that. And I have no shortage of this pink, so everybody's getting a piece of this little pink stuff. Like all three of the journals, including the fourth swatch that I'll be making for myself. And a little piece of this rickrack. Now you've seen me working on pink stuff in the last little while, so a lot of that stuff is going to be used in these journals. So I'm just going to lay that down there. And my tray, here's my tray with all my pink stuff. And I have this avocado dyed fringe that I know is going in here. So I'm just going to cut a little snip of this. And now I'm just going to take the hot glue gun and glue these pieces in. Now this, it may look like it's a spot on here, but it's just mottled. The color is just kind of variegated colors. And I'm going to put a little dribble here for this trim. And another little dribble here for the rickrack. And then a little bit to put on this fringe. So isn't this starting to look cute? And then a piece of this pink ribbon. And this pink ribbon, I think I have 1,000 yards of it. I don't know if you remember when I bought it at one of those thrifty hauls that I did for Thrifty Canucks. So whenever I run out, I'm down to the last little bit here. But whenever I run out, I just have to go and stitch up a whole bunch more, and then it's ready to go again for any other projects that I'm working on. So there are the first few swatches. Now I'm just starting on these books, so there will be a lot of other things added into here. I will do some adding of writing and maybe do some fancy embellishing around this with some marker or pen. I haven't quite decided yet, but I will continue to fill this book with everything that's going into each individual journal so that it will sit on the inside pocket somewhere on the inside of the cover. So the cover will be here. This will be the signature cover. So this will go with the book, and as I add things into it, I will also glue them in here. So far, the only fancy papers I have are Antonio's papers. So I will add a couple of little swatches of the other designs for each of the fabrics that are fancy fabrics or fancy papers that I've used within here. I'm not going to add in things like coffee dyed paper or, you know, just plain lined paper, but if there's something special about a piece that I'm putting in here, then that will get added into this journal or into this swatch card as well. With the idea, again, if I don't fill it, I can still have this as a writing space. I can still embellish on the front cover if I want. So those are the two pieces that I would leave towards the end. But I still have lots of room on here to continue to fill this up. So then I don't know if you remember as well, I had, with my scraps that were left over, I was working on those, I think I was working on the tags. I had made some, just some embellishment on scraps, and I think I showed everybody this. And so I just cut off a piece with the idea that I'm going to glue it here just to make a little sort of a tab for opening up this front cover. And so again, I'm just flattening this out first. Here we go. There. And then putting a little bit of hot glue on there. You can put other tabs if you're making different types of tabs, but I just thought this would be a cute little finish embellishment on the front of this. And then I also pre-cut some strips of tulle, the sparkly tulle, to wrap around to be a closure. So I'm just wrapping it around here a couple of times, and then I'm going to tie it in a bow. Now when you tie it in a bow, I always like to make reference to when you tie your shoes. Usually when you tie your shoes, you make a loop and you take your other lace and you bring it forward towards you to tie your shoes. when you want to make a bow where the tails come down perfectly, instead of bringing the ribbon towards you, you want to bring it away from you, and then pull it through the bottom of your, just like you would do your shoelaces, but the opposite way. So whenever you're making your bow, this way, of course, because I'm doing it, here we go, doing it upside down. This way your tails will both hang down straight, and your bow will look a lot fuller. And that's because one will come sort of from behind and the other is coming from the front when you're tying it together. So whenever you're tying your shoelaces, just you know, sit there and put on your sneakers and try to tie the shoelace, and then whatever that method is that you tie, take the second lace and put it the opposite way instead of the original way that you were tying your shoelaces. Although some people learn how to tie their shoelaces doing the double loop thing. I was always taught to wrap around. And then your bow sits nice on your project. I just need to pull this out a little bit more. So this is what I'm going to continue to work on for this project, and I just thought I would share that with you. And it was a great way to use this one little page from Antonio. So far I've made 2 of them. So 2 of them are ready to go in the book, but I will do a follow-up. You will get to see the whole process as we go along, because when I put the covers together for each of these journals, I will be sure to add my swatch into the swatch book while you're watching. So you will see the covers being made, and you will see the swatches going in here. Also on these covers, I will have the inside fabric. That will be the lining fabric, which will be different from the cover. So a swatch of that will go in here as well. So as I go along and progress with these books, so will the swatch books. And, you know, once I'm done, then I can play around with things like adding labels and you know, further embellishments to embellish this, even lace trims if I want. But right now it's just the bare bones and the basics. And it was just to show you how I was planning to get started with working on these journals. So that's it for today's video. I told you it was a mini. And yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow. Tomorrow is my Techniques Tuesday. Now, if you want to get this kit, or you want to get the original Shabby kit from Antonio, Shabby Autumn, you need to go to his website, or you know, follow the links in the description box below here. And if you go and you decide you want to purchase this kit, and it's reasonable, it's 1.5 pounds. I don't know what it translates into your country, so you'll have to figure that out on PayPal, or however you make payment to him. But it's very inexpensive. And so, but if you want to purchase the kit from him, if you use my coupon code, the coupon code for me is Kim, K-I-M, in capital letters, 10, and you will get 10% off of your purchases through Antonio. And this helps my site, because I earn a small commission if you purchase this kit. And it helps Antonio, and, you know, you get a discount, which is a win-win for all of us. So that's it for today. Stay tuned for next Monday for Antonio Makes. I don't know if it's a mini or a regular one, but we will see. And I wish you all a very creative Monday. It's unbelievable. It's getting cool, but it's a sunny day, but the wind is a little bit cool today, and it's definitely fall. We will be deking out tomorrow to spend one more day at the ocean on the Fundy Trail, so I'm looking forward to that. But I wish you all a creative week, and I look forward to seeing you all week. I'll be here. Okay, talk to you later. Bye for now.